Over the past 2 years, reports of forest fires have increased significantly. The force has become greater, the spaces have become wider, the spaces of fires. The number in the countries mentioned has become more and more fires. We hear about countries in the East and the West, in Europe, America and Asia, everywhere. The number of fires in the same country has also become large, meaning one country in which you hear about 300 fires, 400 fires, thousands of movements at the same time, something very striking. Burning has been present in forests throughout its life, but in recent decades it has increased in the last 2 years. It has increased by more than the normal rate. Now we hear about the fires in Turkey. Fires in Turkey started on June 27. They persist, extending to 6 major cities in Turkey, including surrounding villages and forests, particularly in western Turkey, near the Izmir and Manisa regions. The situation is dangerous so far. With 2 dead, the number may be likely to increase because there are a large number of wounded. We ask God for safety for Turkey in losses in facilities. It has been partially controlled, but the movement is still continuing in several places. They say more than 320 fires are working at the same time. Simultaneously, print these numbers. Burning forests, my brothers, is catastrophic. It means a comprehensive disaster that affects more than one aspect of life. First, it kills people because it interferes with residential areas, as has happened now in Turkey. Secondly, it destroys the ecosystem inside the forest, animals, birds and insects, and all of this creates huge problems at the level, the entire land, not just at the level of the area where there is a fire. The migration of animals and the environmental balance are very many things. Does it also make a loss? For valuable timber hours, it remains in the gardens or the fires that are caught in large forests, a source of livelihood for the state. These forests remain in large trees that have hope, but harips occur and destroy them. Pollution that includes many places with dust and smoke also flies to places that may be far away, hundreds of miles from. The fire site itself contributes to global warming, impacting the planet entirely. From behind the Turkish fires, can the answer to this question remain dangerous? It is usual that predators remain inactive, meaning that they automatically do this on their own without any human intervention. How do you get it? Like a shock? This lightning strikes a forest, setting a tree on fire, and the trees spread fire from it to other places. The burning tree until fire arises from it, especially if there is a strong wind that can move this matter, or a stone rolls and falls into another stone. A small spark appears and ignites in the trees. A fire, of course. This makes it more. If there's a drought in the trees. Trees, my friend, are waiting to be touched so that they will burn. I do not know the rays of the sun themselves when they are very scorching, and wood or paper. Trees are dry and strong to burn them. If it is like a magnifying lens like this on a specific point, then turn on that point and one small leaf ignited, possibly the entire tree. After that, the fire breaks out in it.
Historically, these events were termed wildfire or prairie fires.
Why? They found her. It is spreading in very, very fast quantities and ways. I mean, people do not interfere in it at all. They changed the name, replaced it with firestorms, and the issue has become much more dangerous these days. Everything that we explained above, these are natural fires, natural disasters, or the earth firestorms.
As we said, humans do not interfere in it.
But the fires in Turkey raised doubts that they could be caused by an active act. The suspicions resulted from the fact that some news sites published news saying that an organization called the Children of Fire Organization, or the Children of Fire, announced in a statement on the internet that it was responsible for the fires in Turkey spreading in various places.
This group says that it is not famous, it is not known, even some people doubt its existence. In fact, they say that it belongs to the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which is the party now banned in Turkey, and which is M. It is classified as a terrorist group in Turkey, the United States and the European Union I turn to the topic of the Sons of Fire in the year 2019. They also announced their agreement on the same topic. The cause of Turkey's fires in Trabzon in 2019. In 2021, they had many announcements that they were causing a large number of fires. The year 2021 was an even more difficult year in Turkey because fires occurred in many places with very, very huge force. It had severe effects and a large number of people died, and it had economic effects, and at that time they said that this issue followed the Sons of Fire who belonged to the Kurdistan Workers' Party, and people doubted the announcement, and this is a government announcement because it means guiding people from, since the government is not negligent in extinguishing, move. They differed a lot in describing the issue, but there is no famous group called Sons of Fire which belongs to the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which is famous. I don't believe the announcement. I doubt there's a group called Sons of Fire or Children of Fire responsible for the fires in Turkey. First of all, for me, because the Kurdistan Workers' Party announced in May 2025 that it was laying down arms and that it would not work. There are rebellions in Turkey. Therefore, it ended the armed rebellion that began with 40 years of sitting, and that's it. The world has calmed down, and we have no unrest or tensions between the Kurdistan Workers' Party and between the government, Turkish now. I do not believe that he would suddenly take such action without any introductions in July, and the peaceful process between him and the government has only been going on for 2 months. The second need is that the fires in Turkey are synchronized with fires at the same time in Greece and in the island of Crete. Also, the topic is not specific to Turkey, but a special topic. This rise in temperature, global warming, strong temperature rise, severe drought, and a stagnant heat wave. All of this is what caused the fires in this region in general. The third need. This season is a fire season, which means it is normal if they were arsonists. If we had been surprised, for example, by this movement in April or March, before the movement season, we would have begun to doubt something, but it is in the natural season. Every year, Turkey receives fires in many places in the world, by the way. France also has fires, and a lot of places are exposed to this issue. Spain, Portugal, all countries are exposed to fires at this time of year. Why is this advertisement still out there? We saw it on the media, which is the statement that is often not true. Is this true? Who should you look for? Beneficiary? Who? The beneficiary of such an announcement. The beneficiary does not leave anyone. My two teams, the first team, some Kurds who do not like it, give up. The Kurdistan Workers' Party last May, and they are causing turmoil and confusion in Turkey in order to return again and disarm the Kurds, and the wave continues among some Kurds. They don't like it. Those who made Oglen believe that it means concession, and if it is salvation, there will be no more war. And they want to continue establishing the dream that is Kurdistan, the state of Kurdistan, which includes parts of Turkey, parts of Syria, parts of Iraq, and parts of Iran. So why do they make this state again? This may be one of the beneficiaries or the other beneficiaries. This is very dangerous that it is Jews. Because Jews have an unstable relationship. Now, their relationship with Turkey was very good after the establishment of the State of Israel. In 1948, relations between Israel and Turkey were established. Jews like to form relations with non-Arab countries around the Arab countries, leading to strong relations with Turkey, Iran, and Ethiopia to surround the Arab world. But relations developed, as you see, with Iran, and we saw a war that continued the issue into a war, and some non-military and political experts who analyze the situation say, I wonder whose role is it? After Iran, there are many people who say that Turkey has a troubled relationship with Turkey. It is possible that Israel wants to create confusion inside Turkey, so that instead of participating in a direct war, we do not cooperate with people inside who create confusion for us. Weaken Turkey and preoccupy it with these internal wars and these civil problems, and this will not surprise him because relations between Turkey and Israel have been strong in the past, as well as relations between Israel and the Kurds. Legacy history, you will find relations between them exactly like Israel's relations with the Druze. They would like them to have in each country a certain sectarian or intellectual group or anything they support that will be opposed to the regime in order to create anxiety and turmoil within the country. And we also let us know that the Jews benefit very, very much at this time specifically from, if they mean creating turmoil in Turkey, because Netanyahu will meet Trump shortly, meaning on Monday he will meet Trump in America. On the AAA, the discussion table between them means a Turkish file, because Netanyahu is the story of Turkey's request from America for F-35 stealth planes, and America may agree to the request that these planes be from Turkey, and this represents a danger to Israel's security in Netanyahu's point of view. So IS discusses this topic. He rejected this sale or this deal.
Also, creating unrest at such a time is very, very important for Netanyahu. That's why we cannot rule out that this imaginary organization belongs to the Children of Fire. It is created by Israel. It is not something called Children of Fire at all, and Israel is inciting such an issue or actually dealing with some Kurds and encouraging them to violate the law. The peaceful situation that the state wants to reach with the Kurds in the coming period, does this mean that this organization acted in the name of Israel? No, I do not expect it. If there is an active action, the fires are natural, as we said, if they occurred in Greece and occurred in Turkey, but they exploited the fires with this announcement, which is a false announcement.
I have this illusion to turn things around inside Turkey in any case. We wish safety to the people of Turkey, even if they maintain their status and interdependence within the state, and that they unite their ranks, and that they consider such reports before they spread, because these needs, when they are strange, spread very widely in the media. And after that we do not know how to control them easily. We ask God Almighty to protect Turkey and the rest of the Muslim countries, and to spare Muslims the plots of the Jews, or from others, or even from Muslims. May God's peace and blessings be upon you.